Here's an important disclaimer. The information provided in this video is for educational and informational purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice and should not be taken as such. Always do your own research or consult with a professional financial advisor before making any investment decisions. Hey everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of our new series, METLX Liquidity Pools and Farming. In this series, we'll go step by step through the basics of providing liquidity and farming on METLX. We'll cover the fundamentals of liquidity pools, and then I'll show you in practice how to add the XPR USDC pair to a liquidity pool, and afterwards stake it under farming. So, what exactly is a liquidity pool? In simple terms, it's a smart contract where you deposit two tokens in equal value, in our case XPR and USDC, so other users can trade them directly on the platform. By providing this liquidity, you're basically acting as the market maker. On the pools page, we can see all the different token pairs available for providing liquidity. For our example, we'll go with the USDC XPR pair. Here, I'll add 13 USDC tokens, and the system automatically calculates that I also need to add 2,127 XPR tokens in order to keep the pair balanced. We then click Add Liquidity and confirm the transaction through our WebAuth wallet. Once everything is confirmed, we can see our new position on the pools page, and of course, we can adjust it anytime. There's a slider that lets us reduce tokens on either side, and if we confirm, our liquidity pool position will be updated and the reduced tokens will be sent back to our wallet. Now let's take a closer look at the values shown here. Your liquidity, the number of tokens you've personally added to the pool. Pool liquidity, the total number of tokens in the entire pool. Your pool share, your percentage share of the total liquidity. And then we have your pool tokens. These LP tokens represent your share of the overall XPR USDC pool. In our case, our share is 130 LP tokens out of the total pool. Each LP token has a dollar value at the time you add or remove liquidity. So, how do we calculate the value of one LP token right now? Here's what we need. The current USD value of XPR multiplied by the total amount of XPR in the pool, plus the current USD value of USDC multiplied by the total amount of USDC in the pool. Together, this gives us a total pool value of about $3 million. Now, if we take our percentage pool share of that total amount, we get about $25, and that's the current value of our share. To calculate the value of one LP token, we divide the dollar value of our pool share by the number of LP tokens we hold. $25 divided by 130 LP tokens equals 19 cents per LP token. Over time, the price per LP token will change due to different factors. It increases if the total pool value grows through fees earned or through token price appreciation. It decreases if the total pool value shrinks due to losses or impermanent loss. It's important to understand. While your pool share percentage can change as other users add or remove liquidity, the number of LP tokens you hold stays constant until you add or remove liquidity. So your LP token count stays the same, but their value changes. Of course, where there are rewards, there are also risks, and it's really important to understand risks of liquidity pools and farming before you jump in. First, impermanent loss. Impermanent loss happens when the ratio of tokens in the pool shifts due to trading activity. For example, if many users swap USDC for XPR, XPR flows out of the pool and more USDC flows in. That changes your token mix. You end up holding more USDC and fewer XPR. The risk is that if XPR's market value later increases compared to USDC, you would have been better off just holding your tokens outside the pool. This automatic rebalancing is what creates impermanent loss, and it's the number one risk you need to keep in mind when providing liquidity. At the end of the day, your profit or loss only becomes real once you pull out or reduce your liquidity, because that's when your LP tokens are converted back into their current dollar value. The second risk is smart contract risk. Liquidity pools and farming rely on smart contracts, pieces of code on the blockchain. If there's ever a bug, exploit, or hack, funds inside the pool could be at risk. This is why it's important to only use platforms you trust. Then there's market risk. Even if the pool itself is safe, the value of your tokens can go down simply because of price changes in the market. For example, if XPR drops heavily, the value of your liquidity pool share will drop too. And finally, liquidity risk. In smaller pools, if not many people are providing liquidity, it can be harder to withdraw your funds quickly without affecting prices. So to recap, the main risks are: a impermanent loss, a smart contract vulnerabilities, market volatility, liquidity risk. Important. This is not financial advice. Always do your own research, and if you're unsure, it's better to skip the trade. So, that's it for the liquidity pool. We could end the video here, but for some liquidity pairs, there's also the option to stake your LP tokens and earn even more rewards. To do this, we switch over to the farms section. Here we see an overview of the token pairs we can stake, along with the APY for each one. We'll choose our XPR USDC pair, which currently shows an APY of about 45%, and click on Update Stake. With the slider, we can decide how many of our LP tokens we want to stake, and in this case, we'll just go with all of them. We confirm the transaction with our WebAuth wallet, and now let's take a closer look at the values. We can see our 130 LP tokens and also the current token distribution inside our pool. Remember, the number of LP tokens never changes, but the amount of XPR and USDC they represent can shift. In our example, you can see the amount of XPR has slightly increased, while USDC has slightly decreased. It's a minimal change, but this is exactly the effect that leads to impermanent loss over time. On the left side, we also see rewards earned. This shows the rewards from our staking in real time, and with the Harvest button, we can claim them and send them directly to our wallet. And with that, the staking of our LP tokens is complete. From here, we can simply let the token pair keep generating rewards, harvest them whenever we like, or use the update option to adjust the number of staked LP tokens or the liquidity we've provided. And of course, if needed, we can also remove everything and fully exit the pool. That's it for today's episode. You now know the basics of liquidity pools and farming, and we've gone through the process of adding the XPR USDC pair and staking it. I hope this video helped you get a clearer understanding of how liquidity pools and farming work. In future videos, I'll dive deeper into specific topics like impermanent loss and other mechanics, so we can really break them down in detail. Until then, take care, and remember, never invest in anything you don't fully understand. See you soon. Your XPR block producer, Bloxprod.